Hi Them! Welcome back to our Flip Math class. Today we're going to be doing subtraction of positive and negative numbers. Our learning target is I can use rules for subtracting positive and negative numbers. So we see that we have a negative and a negative, so we just add those negatives together. We take negative 27 plus negative 18, which gives us negative 45. We can look at the next example and we see that we have a negative and another negative and we're adding, so we just add the two together. Negative 9 plus 15 gives us negative 24. If we look at our next example, we see that we don't have any negative numbers and we know how to just add straight across. We know how to add positive numbers, so we take 63 plus 58, which gives us 121. And with our last example, we see that we have two negative numbers. We have negative 28 plus negative 85, and we know that if we see two signs the same, we just add. So we have 98 plus 85 gives us 100. Gives us 183. Okay, so when the signs are the same, we add the two numbers. Another rule we can think of is when the signs are different, we subtract. So we see we have one negative and a positive. So we know we're going to subtract. So we take the bigger from the larger. 25 minus negative 9 gives us 16, a positive 16, because 25 is a bigger number than negative 9. So if we look at 45 plus negative 12, we know that those two signs are different. We have a positive and a negative, so we're going to subtract. So we take 45 minus 12 gives us 33. And we know it's positive because the positive number is larger. So if we have negative 85 plus 100, we know that our rule is if the signs are different, we subtract. So we have different signs. We take 100, take our larger minus our smaller. 85 gives us a positive 15 because 100 is larger than 85. Now, if we look at this one, we have 63 plus negative 75. We know that the signs are different, so we're going to subtract. And since we do our larger number, we do 75 minus 63 gives us 12. But since 75 is larger than 63 and it's a negative, our answer is going to be negative 12. So our second rule is when the signs are different, we subtract. Now let's open to page 237 in your math journal. It says, use your positive and negative cash card counters to model the following problems. Draw a picture of the positive and negative counters to show you found each balance. So it gives us an example. It says you have 3 negative counters and you're adding 6 positive counters. So they drew 3 negative counters and then 6 positive counters, and we know that we cross them out if they line up, which gave them a total of 3 positive counters. So let's do number 1 together. It says you have 5 positive counters. Add 5 negative counters. And remember those circles I showed you? I made some for us. So if we have 5 positive, we'll make red positive. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more is 5. Then we have 5 of those negative ones. So if we line them up, it makes it pretty easy for us. 4 and 5. We know that we cross them out if they line up, and I see that all of them line up, so our answer would be 0. Okay, what I'd like you to do right now is answer number 2 and answer number 3, and raise your hand to have someone come and look at them when you get these finished. Please do that now. Let's look at number 4. If you have 7 negative counters and take away 4 negative counters, what is your balance? So first let's write this as a sentence. It says we have 7 negative counters, and we're taking away 4 negative counters. If we look, we have 2 negatives together, and a rule is that 2 negatives make a positive, so we can change these to be positive. So our sentence now looks like -7 plus 4. We take -7 and add 4, we get -3 as our answer. So if you look at number 5 and we write it as a sentence, it says you have 7 positive counters. Take away 4 negative counters. So we have 7 positive counters, and we're taking away 4 negative counters. Again, we see the double negative, and we know that that means that we change it to a positive, so we put positives plus plus. So now it looks like 7 plus 4, which is 11. So our answer would be 11. 2 negatives make a positive. Let's now begin subtracting positive and negative numbers. The sentence says we have 5 minus -4. We know when we see 2 negatives that we change them to positives. So now it reads 5 plus 4, which gives us 9. We look at the next one, and again we have 2 negatives, so we know that we changed both of them to positives, plus plus. We have -10 plus 7 would be -3. Okay, we look at this last one, it's -5 minus 8. We don't have 2 negatives, so we just subtract. So we have -5 minus 8 would give us a +3. Turn to page 240. It says to rewrite each subtraction problem as an addition problem and then solve it. They did the first one for us. Number 1 said 100 minus 45, and they wrote it as 100 plus parentheses -45 to make it into an addition problem. So if we look at number 2, it says -100 minus 45. So we can keep -100 the same, and then to make it into an addition problem, we put our plus sign, plus, and if we do parentheses, -45. So if we look at this, we see that we have a negative and its addition, so we know from our rule from previously that if both the signs are the same, then we just add. So we take -100 plus -45 would give us -145. So for your assignment today, you're going to finish page 240. When you have this completed, please have this graded and finish your blend space.